and on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to do another Tiermaker video. It's 2020 NASCAR Cup Series schedule. All the tracks are on the schedule. So yeah, this is just my opinion. So I guess let's go. Alright, first of all, we got Atlanta. Yeah, this track definitely needs a lot of improvement. Atlanta, there's boring races. Most of the time, just the restarts are exciting, as we normally see drivers that are in the lead pull out to like 5-6 second leads, like we saw Kevin Harvick do in the summertime at Atlanta this year. So yeah, Atlanta needs improvement, but obviously keep like the character of the track, like the bumps, everything that makes the track. I guess Atlanta. I think, as Will Radman said in his video, repave the track, but do a bad job doing it. So yeah, I definitely agree with that, and yeah, that's my opinion on Atlanta. It definitely needs improvement. Next up, it's the Auto Club Speedway in California. I'm putting that at average. It can be boring at times, so I just put that right there because, I mean, we saw some great races at Auto Club, like in 2013, that insane finish, but there's some just snooze fest sometimes at Auto Club Speedway. I don't know what it would be if it would be a short track. I love all short tracks, don't get me wrong. I would probably put it between these two categories. But right now, Auto Club is definitely in this middle tier here. Obviously, Auto Club is going to be a short track when the next gen cars come out, so it'll be fun to see that new combination together when we get it. Next up, it's the Bristol dirt track. First dirt track, I mean, we don't even know really how it's going to be, so I just put it at solid racing. Obviously, fans love the normal Bristol track, which I love too. It's probably my favorite track out of the entire schedule. So I think Dirt Bristol has potential, but I'm not sure, about the Bristol dirt track. I just love normal Bristol, and I thought it would stay that way for a while. But NASCAR brings Dirt Bristol in, which I'm glad about. I'm glad that we're getting some dirt racing on the NASCAR Cup Series schedule. So I'm excited to see that. But yeah, I really don't know for the Bristol the Bristol dirt track, so I'm putting it at the solid racing category. Next up, it's Bristol at I don't even need to explain this one. Bristol is amazing. Just produces consistent great races. It's really good. What else do I have to say? Next up is the Charlotte Roval. It's one of the greatest tracks I've ever seen. Normally, it's just dominated by road course ringers like Chase Elliott, but the Roval is a great track. Always look forward to seeing races there, especially with the rain this year. That was insane. So I would like to keep the Roval up and running in the future. Next up, it's the Charlotte Motor Speedway, normal Charlotte Motor Speedway. That put it around the same tier as Auto Club. Charlotte could be boring sometimes, like you saw with the the Coca-Cola 600 this year. It was pretty boring to watch 600 miles of that race. But yeah, overall, Charlotte has some good races, sometimes like Auto Club, and has some bad races also like Auto Club. So those two are pretty even. right now. Next up is Circuit of the Americas. It's between the greats and the solid racing. I always love a good road course, uh, but I'm putting it in solid racing because the type of track that Circuit of America is, I'm not sure if it will fit the NASCAR, I guess, excitement level as it would with like the F1 cars or Indy cars or something like that. Because the cars in NASCAR don't have as much downforce and can't take certain sections of that track like an F1 car would, uh, like those really like quick windy S's, the never-ending S's. Um, yeah, I don't know how the cars would really handle, especially in 2021. Uh, I think they are gonna probably look at some other different packages. I would imagine for road courses, especially since they've added the dirt tracks. They might as well just look into some other uh, packages for different types of tracks. But Circuit of the Americas, I just really enjoy seeing the F1 races there. Um, I think it could fit NASCAR well. Uh, if it does well this year, it'll probably be up in the greats. But for right now, since another unknown, another new circuit on the schedule, I'm putting Circuit of the Americas in solid racing. Um, Next up, it's Darlington. Darlington's amazing. I really love Darlington. I'm glad that it's getting 2 spots next year. We saw 3 races at Darlington this year. One was the one right before the pandemic, which was pretty good. I'd say we saw a lot of really intense racing there because all the drivers were really eager to really get back on the track. Uh, it's just amazing. I mean, Darlington's definitely been a staple in NASCAR history, and I like to see more racing at Darlington, especially what we got now. Don't change anything about Darlington. Next up is Daytona, and that's going in the greats. I mean, it's a great track. It's just one of the best. I mean, it has so much history in NASCAR, from the beaches to the oval to the road course for the Rolex 24-hour challenge at Daytona. The place just got so much history. It's so fun to see every year. I always look forward to both Daytona races on the schedule, and I'm so happy that they put um, the second date for Daytona as the elimination race because I think that opens up a lot more opportunity for some other drivers to come in and steal the win last moment. Yeah, so that's why Daytona is in one of the greats. Next up, it's Dover, and this one same category as Auto Club in Charlotte. We see great races there, and then we see some not so good ones like the ones this year. Um, yeah, I mean, Dover has just its fair share of good races every once in a while, but some other times it's about even. There's just some snooze fests and some really exciting races. So next up, it's Homestead Miami. Homestead Miami's amazing. I wouldn't put it in the greats, but I'll put it in solid racing. Homestead definitely deserves uh, the um, the championship race spot back. I think because it was just amazing. The place held the championship race for so many years. Now it's Phoenix. Even though the Phoenix race was pretty good this year for the championship, I'd rather see Homestead Miami be the championship, and I hope that NASCAR can consider that sometime in the future and maybe bring the championship back to Homestead Miami Speedway. As we know, the dates for Homestead Miami have, I guess, kind of, you know, gone into the less important parts of the season. We saw it moved from the championship race, obviously, this season. Next season will be the second race of the season, which not really crucial. Um, but I guess you could have a chance to lock yourself in early. But I think Homestead Miami needs at least a late season date for that track. Next up is the Indianapolis Roval. It was a great track in the Xfinity Series. I expect the same from it in the Cup Series, and I hope it stays the same for the Cup Series because the Xfinity Series race there was absolutely amazing. The final few laps with the battle between Allmendinger, Cindric, and Briscoe was just outstanding. I think that it will definitely show NASCAR fans what true road course racing looks like, and yeah, it'll be fun to watch next year. Next up is Kansas Speedway. This track is just amazing. For some reason, there's just always these massive wrecks at Kansas, but this is a true multi-groove 1.5 mile track. Even on NASCAR video games, Kansas is one of my favorite tracks to run. You could run the high side great. You could run the low side great as well, and I think that's the same for real life. We saw it this year. We saw a lot of close racing. We saw a lot of passing, and again, we also saw a bunch of wrecks. But that's besides the point. But Kansas, I think, is a great track. I wouldn't put it in one of the greats, but it's definitely one of the best mile and halves out there. Next up, it is Las Vegas, and I think this is an average, can be boring. We can only see late race restarts here, which is great to see. We like to see all these drivers just scrapping it out. And yeah, it's just great sights to see for Vegas, but there's some snooze fest for Las Vegas as well. I mean, it could produce good races, but at the same time, some of these races are not really up to what NASCAR fans really want to see, and I think just some little improvements, minor improvements to Las Vegas, make the high side a little better around Las Vegas would make that track just much better. Next up is Martinsville Speedway, and that's all the way up in the grades. You see drivers just, move each other. No one really cares at Martinsville, which is great to see. When I like just seeing racing, hard nosed, last lap racing, every single lap, and I think that's always a fun race to see. I like having Martinsville having 2 dates on the calendar, which is it's a great track. Next up, it's Michigan. It needs improvement. Michigan would not be a get rid of it because of really the high speeds that NASCAR fans really like to see. Michigan obviously is definitely a multi-groove track, but definitely it's kind of boring after that first restart, or a restart, as normally the cars get strung out single file after that, and it's really boring. Next up, it's New Hampshire. It definitely needs improvement. New Hampshire needs improvement. We see some good races, but those only happen once in a while. We saw it get removed from the playoffs, and I think that it really didn't live up to playoff standards. I think New Hampshire belongs to regular season race. It's not really that good of a race to watch. Next up, it's Richmond, another short track. Not putting it up in the great because we have some snooze fest there, but the racing's normally really good. Richmond is great. I like watching the racing there. We saw Austin Dillon be a surprise winner, or not winner, a surprise, race leader there. But Richmond, has some snooze fest sometimes, but it also has way more of those great races. The snooze fest included this year. That was a pretty boring race at Richmond this year. Richmond definitely is a great short track, and I think it belongs in that solid racing category. Next up, it's Phoenix. Sorry about that. This year's championship, and average can be boring. But Phoenix, definitely it improved. It's definitely improved. With the dogleg, they got rid of all the grass. Now there's a bunch of 5-6 wide racing coming into turn 1. They also relocated that front, or the finish line, which was great. I like to see cars fanning out on restarts. I think Phoenix is a great track. It definitely does produce some boring races sometimes, which is kind of sad to see. The championship this year was amazing. Let me just say that all 3 races were absolutely amazing at Phoenix level. So I think Phoenix, it's been a track for a while, and I think it could have potential really to be a good short track, or a championship racetrack. Next up, it's Pocono, and just please get rid of Pocono. I know it's just a little fun something different. But yeah, Pocono is. I don't like Pocono at all, and most NASCAR fans. I mean, most NASCAR fans don't like Pocono. It's a little bit of a. It's fun. Like it's fun to see. Don't get me wrong. But I mean, Pocono just produces boring racing. I mean, it's high speeds, but yeah, Pocono just produces boring racing as we can only see the cars go single file. I watched the ARCA race on TV and I got a little bored watching it. Um, but yeah, I mean, Pocono doesn't, I don't know, one race would be fine for me, but when they put 2 races on the schedule, I don't think so. The doubleheader especially. Next up, it's Road America. It is a great road course, and I think it'll stay that way for a while. Pocono, not Pocono, Road America is an amazing uh, road course for the Xfinity Series, and I think it'll stay that way. It always produces great races, sometimes in the rain, like we saw in the Xfinity Series this year for a little bit. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Road America next year. Next up, it's Sonoma Raceway. It's the most boring sometimes of the road courses. Only reason it won't be the average or can be boring category is it's a road course. I mean, NASCAR fans love road courses. I do too. So I think it deserves to be in the solid racing as we normally see good finishes, but sometimes we have snooze fest of races there. Next up is Talladega. Always some wild racing there. I'm putting it in the greats. I'm pretty sure all the NASCAR fans would too. Um, it's always really intense, especially in the playoffs, and I love it. Talladega is one of the great NASCAR tracks. Next up is Texas. Yeah, Texas is no. Texas is one of the worst tracks on the NASCAR schedule. It's just awful. I mean, this year's race it was decent this year, but Texas we don't need 2 500-mile races there. It's just way too boring. Um, but yeah, Texas it could be good, but ever since they redid it, it just hasn't been what it used to be. Next up, Watkins Glen, last one. It's one of the greats. I went to Watkins Glen a couple summers ago for the 2019 race, I think. Um, yeah, it was a great race. Um, Chase Elliott obviously won that race. That was, I guess, where his road course winning began 1 year ago, or 1 year earlier than the race I went to. That was his first career win. I didn't really know that Chase Elliott at that time was gonna be this good at road courses. I know he always ran up front at road courses, but I didn't think he was gonna do this good at the road courses. But obviously, I was wrong. His father Bill was great at road courses as well. Um, but yeah, Watkins Glen, it's amazing from that fast chicane to the windy S's to the last part of the race or the last part of the track too. It's just all amazing racing at Watkins Glen. And that'll be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. Consider subscribing to my channel and consider liking, I guess. And have a good day.